Hey guys, how's it going? Hope everybody's doing well as always. All right, so Happy New Year! It's the new year. Um, I just have this urge to do a reading today again. This stuff kind of just fills me with joy, and I really enjoy it. But there just feels like there's something that it's like a low feel, like in my lower chakras, I guess, that it's like a very subtle, like there needs to be a message, there's a message in this, but then I'm trying to sit here and I'm trying to like clear and get kind of focused and quiet, but there's just like a lot of chaos happening up here. So figured let's give it a shot, let's see if I can connect, figure out what is going on with this energy. So I'm going to clear the air with my bowl. All right, so this is a collective reading. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't. Not everything is meant exactly for you. Please make sure to be mindful of where your attention goes when I'm speaking about certain details, because if I don't nail your certain detail exact, but your mind takes you, your attention takes you somewhere else, that um, within that, it could be your inner guidance system trying to connect the dots on what I'm saying and versus where it connects within your own reality. So please make note of that. All right. So let's see what the message is for today. Safe. Self-reflection. Grave. I should show you the cards. Here's self-reflection. It's like a little waterfall. Reminds me of somebody I know right now that's in Bali, doing some fun exploring. They just went to like a waterfall thing that looked so awesome. And then safe. It's like a little baby being safe, feeling like protected and cuddled. I'm already noticing the colors, the color changing. To me, this is feeling like it's giving me a message of like, I don't know if somebody out there needs to hear this, but expanding like your consciousness and expanding things and believing in new things. Going from, it just feels like you're going from like black and white TV to color television. Like how wild. I can't even imagine what our parents and stuff and our grandparents like thought of that. Going from watching black and white TV to like color TV to now the graphics that we have today just feeling so realistic. It's insane, but like expanding in that through self-reflection, I feel like is what self-reflection and healing is what allows things to get brighter, colorful, more vibrant, and that there is a lot of safety in that you are protected and guided. That it may seem a little scary going into that. Like again, like I can't even imagine what, it's like wow, but also there's a little like, oh wow, you know. But I just feel like there's somebody that's kind of like hesitant on growing their consciousness and expanding their belief systems and just kind of diving into new things, theories and things, and there's a lot of fear around that, and a lot of it has to do with like your own self-reflection, because I know, for me, like with religion, I grew up Lutheran, but at my Lutheran school we had a theology class that taught us about other religions, and we got to visit some temples, we got to visit some things, that within St. Louis, where I am, and that helped me with my expansion on what really religion is, and more into now what I would consider I'm spirituality. But it just feels like there's some fear around that. Anyways, I feel like I have so much I could say about this, but it's like, okay, that's not the message. But I just feel like that was part of somebody. Yeah. All right. What else do we have today? Yeah. I feel like also when you start to like reflect on this kind of stuff, you start to like expand and start asking questions, like it leads you to kind of like a path that obviously, like I said, it can be scary to think what else is out there, but it also leads you down to a path of like questioning what death is, and sitting with that and the uncomfortableness of that. A lot of people don't really want to face that. They just want, ooh, and I'm getting really dizzy. A lot of people, want to stay safe and comforted in their conditioned beliefs of what death is, like especially again with the church and stuff and what they explain it to be. And then when you start like diving into other cultures or diving into other religions or other theories and stuff, it can be a lot, because again, it's your belief system gets kind of shaken up, your conditioned belief, and it makes you feel a little unsafe, to where you're like, because I feel like you start to feel in other theories like that this could be real, or like you feel like you have this inner knowing that what you were taught is not real. And so that can be really unsettling and uneasy, but it's a scary thing, because we would never essentially fully know until you experience it, and most of us are not ready to experience that, because once you experience it, it's like you don't come back to this life, like that's it. So we have regrets, family, and unexpected. I don't know why this guy just caught my, like, I don't think I've ever noticed this, but like he's like peeking through his hands, and it almost makes me feel like he's like putting on a show. He's acting sad, he's acting like he's upset, but yet he's like looking like to see like people's reaction, or to see like what how people are taking it, and if he's if they're buying it or not. I don't know. It just feels very fake. the regrets feel very fake. Okay. And so we have family and unexpected. I do feel like there's a lot of reflection on death. This feels okay. So now we're getting a more broader picture besides like little pieces of it, of, you know, maybe it's resonating within you if you're listening, but now this is feeling like a bigger, broader picture. And this is really feeling like somebody's really reflecting on death, on maybe losing somebody or possibly going to be losing somebody. And they're, you know, the self-reflection about, you know, their regrets and, you know, the things that they've done wrong with either with that person or that person did to them. And this definitely feels like family, like a family member. And I feel like this is a blockage. Like this is something that is still causing the chaos in the head, within the body. Because like I was saying at the beginning, it's like there's this subtle underneath feeling that it's like there's a message waiting for you. There's something in the lower root chakra or the solar, those lower solar or lower chakras that is needing to be seen. Like there's some messages, there's something that needs healing, but yet there's so much chaos pulling back and forth up here that it's not allowing you to be able to like see this or to integrate or heal this part. And I feel like there is going to be something that kind of shakes you, opens you up, like is like hits you hard, that or some kind of realization. And maybe it's this video. Maybe I'm helping you, but there's something that is going to happen or is happening that is really going to help you to like it almost feels like shaking somebody, like stop, get, you know, like before, again, when I was doing this and I was being pulled in my head and I kept hearing different things and going different ways, and I just kind of had to be like, stop. Like I said, I told my guides, like I literally told my guides before this, I cannot focus. I can't hear what you guys are saying when there's so many trying to say something or pull me in different directions. I said I cannot hear, you know, and I feel like that's kind of like what's been going on. And there's going to be something that kind of like shakes that up to where you can just be quiet and hear, and then realize within yourself that, you know, there's this underlining regret and shame and feeling of guilt that still lies within over someone's death, or the even just the idea of death. Maybe you haven't really fully came to peace with death within yourself. You know, somebody that is dying that is very important to you, something to do with that. But this energy of regret is staying stagnant, and I do feel like it's in that lower chakra system. So if you have any questions about that, feel free to message me, private message me, or comment below. We can maybe talk about it, or I could pull some cards regarding your situation. All right, so what else? Anything else? Okay, so I just heard, like, how do we heal this, or how do I recognize this? How do I move forward with this? That's a really good question. And it all really depends on is your situation. But also, you know, forgiveness. Forgiveness is one of the most powerful tools of alchemy that you can use to be able to transmute like the energy, that negative energy, into something positive. Forgiveness is not saying what happened was okay. It's saying that you've learned from it, you've acknowledged it, you see it, you know it, and it's time to move forward now. That it no longer serves you any good. It doesn't, sitting there dwelling on it doesn't give you the forward movement. It doesn't help you in any way. It just holds you back. So why not forgive and move forward? It's an act of extreme self-love for you and that person, and it just sends you guys into completing that cycle to where now hopefully you can take that lesson and learn and not do that again. But staying stuck and holding somebody in that cycle doesn't really allow the space for them to try again, or to do better, or to learn, or whatever. So forgiveness is one of the biggest tools that you can use for that. We have the Four of Wands and the Eight of Wands. So this feels like this is part of that shaking up piece. Sashi? Where the Four of Wands reminds me of sorry, Sasha, stop it, honey babe. All right, so going along with this feels like it's part of that unexpected, like shaking yourself up, getting shooken up energy, that it's like you asked how do we get past that? That is by asking that question. That's step one, opening yourself up to receiving answers, setting your intentions to be able to move forward, and then to be shown, asking for that guidance. Asking yourself these questions really allows for that the information to come in, because we don't know everything. There's so much out there to learn, so you can always ask yourself questions, and sit still in silence and wait for things to be heard, things for you to hear. So with that, I definitely feel like there is some sort of communication you're going to be getting from either, if they're past, somebody that has passed, you're going to hear something that you're going to see, something that you're going to witness. There's something that is going to be like, I feel like undeniable. That's like, that was them. And it's going to like kind of open that door of like, you probably a lot of emotions and thoughts and memories, and then that opens that key. That's the key to opening that door of like self reflection of then and then the regrets come in, the negative stuff comes in, and then you can see that and you're like, yes, that's been residing within me for so long, so it's time to take a look at that. So but if this person is still alive, maybe there's some kind of conversation that you're going to have with them that's going to kind of offer some like guidance or something that is like it clicks in your head. Something that kind of like maybe triggers you into, you know, these feelings of regret, you know, the energy of regret, something like that along those lines. So, and then once that happens, then you have the opportunity to build more foundation and commitment within your life. Once you're able to kind of get rid of this blockage that kind of holds you back. Yeah, Psycho Completion World card underneath of all this. Once you're able to kind of sweep the dust, get rid of the muck and mud underneath that that still needs to be looked at, then it offers like a nicer foundation for commitment and family and just stability. It's never easy to lose somebody. Unfortunately, it is a part of life. It's the cycle of, you know, the circle of life. But in a great kind of way, it does provide opportunity for strength, you know, to build that hard, like that rock, that foundation. And if you use it, you know, for more of a empowerment, I guess, for building the connections and foundation within your own life that is still living, rather than focusing on the past and the grieving and the regret and all that stuff. Once you're able to get, you know, move forward from that, you can then put your more focus on what is still in front of you and what still needs to be cherished and loved and foundation to be built. And again, and it's not saying, you know, like you forget about this person. It's just you are using that love and that energy of that person that you lost as empowerment and motivation for connecting deeper with those that are still here. It's honoring their memory and their connection with you that you had in somebody else now. So I hope that helps. I hope that makes sense. I hope this maybe is a some sort of realization for you, if you need it. And I'm sorry if you're going through this right now. And I'm sorry if you've went through this. It's never easy. It's never easy. So I'm sending lots of love, lots of peace, lots of healing your way, lots of strength and understanding. And let me know if you need anything. I'll talk to you later. Bye.